Hello friends. So I have had this video requested to do for a long time. I just haven't felt like, I don't know, I just don't feel like my makeup is anything special. It's just what I do for every day. Just running around, doing errands, going to work, going to church, whatever. This is just my go-to look. But I've been asked to film it and tell you guys what products I use. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that for you. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. I know what you're thinking. Why is this girl on camera with her hair looking like this? And I will tell you, I like to do my makeup before I do my hair because I'm constantly moving it out of my way and messing with it, and it always ends up looking terrible. So I do my makeup before, so I'm so sorry. You're just gonna have to look at my hair looking wild. So we're gonna jump right in. First, I like to use some kind of primer water. This is the Wet n Wild, the 3-in-1 primer water, the coconut. I just like how it smells. So I'm just gonna spray that all over my face and then dry it. And I know what you're thinking, oh my gosh, how extra is she? I will tell you, you do not understand how much you need this little fan in your life until you buy it. I used to watch all the beauty gurus do their makeup and they'd have this little fan and I'm like, okay. But then I bought it and it changed my life. Okay. Next, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I do have acne prone skin, oily skin, and I have large pores. Super fun. So that I'm going to use a pore filling primer. This stuff is amazing. I know you've heard of it. If you're into any kind of makeup, I just like to press it into my skin in the areas that I deal with large pores. But it is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer that everybody was obsessed with. I can't really say that it's a dupe. I know that I just did, but I can't really say that because I've never tried the Tatcha one. I'm not going to spend $50-something on a primer when there is a drugstore equivalent. I'm not about that life. Please ignore how terrible my self-tan looks on my hands. I'm fully aware. I know how bad it looks. I haven't washed the bronzer off yet, so it's a little aggressive. Once I finish that, I would usually jump into the Maybelline, I think it's the Superstay. It's the one that looks like this, that everybody is obsessed with. Yes, the Superstay. But I'm out of my colors. So we're going to be using another full coverage foundation that I have not tested out that much. It's the Juvias Place I Am Magic Foundation. So that's the only one I have in my color, and it's gonna look a little aggressive because obviously my face is a lot paler than my body, so you know we have to use a darker foundation. I just like to dot it around my face because trust me, with this foundation a little goes a long way. It's very thick, but it does last all day on my oily skin, and it will cover up any area that you are having issues with. I'm trying to decide if I want to use the Tarte Beauty Blendiful. I'm sure y'all have heard of it. It's just this little puff. Tarte came out with this. I have tried it once, as you can tell, it's a little bit dirty. And I've got streaks all over my face and it kind of took away my coverage. So I think I did it wrong because I've seen so many good reviews on it, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna go in with my little tried and true Real Techniques makeup sponge. This is the Face and Body sponge. It's huge, but I love it because it covers my entire face super fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and start blending that. And as you can see, that coverage, amazing. I mean, you saw what it looks like before. So I'm just going to finish blending that. Make sure to get your neck, get your ears. We don't want any lines around here. So I'm gonna finish this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so foundation is on, and I know it looks a little aggressive and orange right now, but we are going to fix that. Once concealer and everything is on, it's going to look normal. So next I'm going to go in with concealer. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I know you've heard of this. It's like $5 at the drugstore and it is so good. It is so full coverage and it does not crease on me. It lasts all day. I'm using the shade Light Sand. I like to go way lighter than my foundation to cover up my dark circles and just brighten up that under eye area. So I'm going to go in with quite a bit. Just because I do have problem skin, I like to cover things up, but you go in with as much as you feel necessary for you. So I just kind of go on my forehead, down my nose, chin, and under eyes, and then I blend it. So next I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm going to use the shade Fair Light for under my eyes and on my chin. Pretty much everywhere I just applied that concealer because I want to keep it light and bright. So I'm just going to take a little dome-shaped brush so I can get right up under my eyes, and I'm just going to pack that on. So we can kind of bake. I'm not going to bake for long because this is just an everyday routine, but these are the places that I get the most oily, so I do want it to set for just a little bit. All right, so now that there's powder flying everywhere, move on to a translucent powder, and this will also kind of lighten up the foundation. This is the Too Faced Born This Way powder in the shade Translucent. I like to use a translucent powder. I do sometimes use darker powders to match my foundation. I'm so sorry about my animals. They don't know how to act. So anyways, I'm just going to take some of that powder into the cap and I'm going to dip straight in from there. This is a Morphe Y3. They did discontinue this collection, but it's just a fluffy powder brush. So I'm going to take that everywhere where I put a cream product and just set it. And I'm also going to wipe off that bake in the process. And you can see how, gosh, that's fun. You can see how bright that powder left my chin and my forehead. I do my under eyes last just because I like for that to bake a little bit longer than everything else. But I'm gonna take it on my eyelids, down my nose, just set everything, and then we're gonna wipe the under eye away. So next I'm gonna take this Morphe bronzer in Megastar. It is very pigmented, so go in with a light hand. I'm gonna be using the Morphe X Jaclyn Heel Brush JHO2. It's just a huge, fluffy bronzer brush. So light hand, tap off the excess, you know the drill. And just bronze up the face a little bit. I don't like to go too aggressive. This is a more orangey tone bronzer. If you're looking for a more cool tone, lighter bronzer, I would go with their shade Icon. This one is a little bit warmer, but Icon is a little too light for me when I'm this self-tan, so that's why I have Megastar. And then we're going to take our Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This one is about out, so we're just gonna make it work. And I'm gonna take a fluffy brush again, just a smaller one, so that you can get right into that cheekbone area and carve out the cheekbones that we don't have. I'm just gonna tap in there, tap off the excess, and go right in. this is actually an eyeshadow brush, but this is what I like to use for my nose. First, I'm gonna go up under my lip. This is just gonna get the illusion of a plumper bottom lip. So I like to do that first, and then go in with whatever is left on my brush and just go down the sides of my nose, following the line from my eyebrow, just like that. And you can see how it kind of gives a slimming effect to the nose. So now I'm going to take a blush brush. We're gonna go in with some blush. This is the Morphe blush palette in the 8W. It's the warm blush palette that they have. And I like to mix mine, so I'm gonna go in with the shade MUA, Goals, and Sweet. So I'm gonna mix all three of those. I'm just gonna take a stippling blending brush, just any brush like this will do. This is the Morphe M406, and I'm just gonna blend that blush and contour together. So now it's looking a lot softer and less aggressive. So we're gonna move on to brows. So I like to use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in dark brunette just to shape my brows. And then I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Super affordable. That's just what I like to use. I just like to brush them up with a spoolie and then just go in with light strokes and just kind of shape them. I like to shape the bottom part first and then fill in as needed. And then we're going to just spoolie through what we just did, just to kind of blend everything. I just did all of this and I did not hit record. Okay, so basically what I did is I took on a fluffy blending brush, I took this shade and this shade, which is MFEO and Pooter, from the Jaclyn Hill palette. He is such a needy little dog. So I used these two shades for my crease, and then I went in with the shade Pooter, just a little bit below the crease shades, just to give a little bit more depth in the crease. And then I went in with the shade Mocha for my outer corner. I just packed that on with a denser brush, and then I went in with a fluffier blending brush, something like this, to blend all of that color out. But then I'm going to go in with a flat definer brush. This is the Morphe S30. Just a small packing brush. Oh, that's great. It has dog hair on it. It's just a flat packing brush. Okay. So after I kind of carve out the shape that I like to go in with my finger and just kind of press it on. I feel like it gives me better color payoff, but I like to go in initially with the brush just to kind of get the shape that I want so that I don't have to map it out with my finger. So that's what that looks like. I know I'm gonna go back in with that same fluffy blending brush that I used for my crease. I know y'all did not see that because I forgot to hit record, but this was the brush that I used. It's just a big fluffy crease brush. It is the Morphe M441. So I'm gonna go back in with those two shades that I initially used and just go over everything and make sure it all looks nice and blended. I am in love with this palette. I literally got it on the first time that they launched, and I use it every time I do my makeup. This is the palette that I used on my wedding day. I did do my own makeup. It's just so good for, go ahead and do my lower lash line. So I'm gonna take a fluffy pencil brush. This is the Morphe Y20. It's just a very small fluffy pencil brush, and I'm gonna go in with those same two colors that I use for my crease and just go up under the lash line. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was my cat. They're driving me insane. Then I'm gonna take a flat definer brush. It literally is just a flat, dense brush. This is the Morphe M432. And I'm gonna go back into that mocha shade and run that along my lower lash line. So I like to go in and stamp it first. That way I can get the maximum color payoff, and then I will go back in with the same brush and not add any more product and just blend. But that's basically it. And then I like to take another fluffy pencil brush. So this is the Morphe S20, and I'm just gonna go into this first shade. I think it's called Beam. No, it's called In Light. So this first shade, In Light, tap it off and go into the inner corner and brighten that up. Also brightens up that inner part of your eye. Then I'm gonna take the same brush, same shade, and run it across my brow bone, just to highlight that. All right, so then I take the fluffy blending brush again with no extra product, and I just run it right under that brow highlight so it kind of blends into the crease shades that I laid down earlier. All right, and then that's your shadow done. So next I'm gonna do eyeliner. Oh, and also while I'm doing this, I like to bake under my contour. Almost forgot that. I just feel like it cleans everything up, makes it look a little more put together. So I'm gonna take the same brush from earlier that I baked with and just pack some more powder on it and go right up under there and just clean up where we bronzed. I like to do this because I can get a little bit messy with my bronzer, and then just go back in with this and clean it up. That way you don't have to be so careful when you're doing the bronzer initially. So we're just going to bake that. For eyeliner, usually I like to use the Lottie London Wing Woman eyeliner. It's just a felt tip liner. It's what I like to use. And then after that is done, I go back in with a powder brush, just a clean, fluffy powder brush, and wipe away that bake. Now we're gonna go in with, this is the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Exit. Just any white eyeliner, and I like to run it in my waterline. So I just drag it down and place that white eyeliner into my waterline. And you can kind of see it kind of opens up my eye. So I like to do this for any daytime look. Next, I'm going to go in with some mascara. Now I am not too, let's see, what's the word? I'm not too precise with my upper lashes on mascara because I do wear the fake eyelashes. But I like to put a little bit on just to darken up the lashes. I like to do this just so it kind of blends in with my fake lashes. This is the, let's see, Tarte Maneater mascara. I do like it. It's not my favorite that I've ever used, but I got it for free. It was my birthday gift from Ulta. This is the best drugstore mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. It's the blue bottle, okay, the blue one. They do have, I believe, a red one and a purple one. I've tried both of those, and neither one of them is as good as this one. I promise you, this will compete with any high-end mascara that you have. It is so good, and it's literally like, I want to say it's like $3.99, so it's like $4 at the drugstore, and this will compete with any high-end mascara. Put it to the test. I promise you, it is amazing. That's what I'm going to use on my bottom lashes. just because I like long bottom lashes, and this gives it to me. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to put some glue on my lashes. Today I'm going to be wearing the Salon Perfect Extension Seeker lashes. That's what they look like. I got mine at Walmart. These are some of my favorite from the drugstore. So you can see that I have used one of the pairs in the pack, these down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those because you can reuse them. So it's not just a one and done thing. As long as you take care of them, you can reuse them quite a bit. I usually use mine about 10 times before I throw them out. So I'm gonna take this Duo Quick Set Strip Lash Adhesive. This is the black color. I like to use the black because I don't like how the clear dries because you can see it. But I'm just gonna run this across the band like so, and then we'll let these set and dry a little bit. That's what a lot of people struggle with when they put on false lashes. They put the glue on and then they're like, oh my god, glue, and they want to like stick it to their eye before it dries. Don't do that. Like, let it get tacky first. It will make it so much easier to apply. It will be way less of a mess. It'll be so much easier to work with, I promise you. So I'm gonna go ahead and coat this next strip and I will be right back. Okay, so while those lashes are getting tacky, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the MAC Fix Plus. This is the coconut scent. I know a lot of people don't like to use fragrance in their products, but this doesn't bother me. I really like it. So this is the Wet n Wild Loose Highlighter in I'm So Lit. And it really doesn't take much. This stuff is beautiful. I'm going to take this Real Techniques highlighting brush, just a little, I actually think it's a powder brush, but I use it to highlight. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush, tap off the excess. Don't forget to do that because this will explode all over your face since it is a loose highlight. But I'm just gonna take it right there. Oh my gosh, this highlight is so pretty. And then I take it on my Cupid's bow, on my forehead, and then down the center of my nose. So now that we're highlighted, I have given the lashes at least a minute to dry. I just always do this. I go ahead and set my face and do my highlight while I'm waiting on these to dry. Now I use tweezers. You don't have to use tweezers. I mean, some people are afraid of sharp objects right next to their eye. I've been doing this for years, so I'm just kind of used to it. I'm just going to bend it a little, just like this to shape it. You're just going to place it down. I kind of look down into my mirror, and I like to stick the middle on first, and then I go in and stick the outer corner down, and then I do the inner corner last. Pinch and press, pinch and press, pinch and press until you feel like it is secure on your lid. So that's what that looks like. So we want these to stay on all day. And this Duo lash glue is literally the best I have found. And honey, I've been through them. I have tried so many. For a long time, I was using what was the brand? I don't remember the brand, but it was a white bottle with like a gold lid and it had aloe in it. You can buy it at Walmart. I used that for a long time and I could not figure out why my eyes were watering. Every time I would do my makeup, my eyes would water so bad, ruin my makeup, and I just could not figure out what it was. I thought I have to be allergic to something, so I just kept switching out products that I was using until I figured it out, and it was that lash glue. So if you have sensitive eyes, be wary of that lash glue. But this one, the Duo in the black shade, does not do that to me. I have to be careful about what products I use. I do wear contacts, so yeah, I just have to be careful. So doing the same thing on this eye, just pinch and press, pinch and press. Just set the middle first. That's what I like to do. That's what I find is easiest for me. And then I just go in and do the outer corner and then the inner. I'm going to be using the Laura Lee Los Angeles lipsticks. Now this I've put through the ringer. I've worn off the label and everything. I promise you these are the best liquid lips, the best, okay? I have really dry lips and these do not make my lips crack. They do not make my lips flake. They're so good and they smell like green apples. So I'm just going to go in and apply the shade Topless. And then I'm going to take, same thing, Laura Lee Los Angeles lipstick in the shade Nakey, and I'm going to apply that to the center of my lips. So today I'm going to leave that as a matte. Usually I would apply a gloss over the top, but that's just what I'm gonna do today. All right, guys, I am back. Got my hair did, I'm looking a little bit more put together. But yeah, if you enjoyed watching me get my everyday glam, I don't like to use that word because I don't really feel like it's glam. It's just something you can slap on your face and go out the door looking like you spent a few hours on your face. If you enjoyed it, just subscribe to my channel so you can see more content like this, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your month. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.